My beautiful people, my beautiful people, my beautiful people. Welcome back to another lovely episode of the Logic Promotions Podcast / Reactions. It's your dog, your brother, man, your favorite African American, Melly, baby. Ha! Finally got it on beat. Okay, listen. Already come on that mad energy. On this episode of the Logic Promotions Podcast, we're going to go over the legend SWISHOUT, bro. And he has some conversations, some ideas as to Russell Westbrook's career is ending sad while his prime aged so poorly. I have some ideas myself, and let's get right into it, man, because I have a lot to talk about Russell Westbrook as well as I'm excited to see how he does this season. So let's get to the intro, and let's get to some learning.
All right, man. Russell Westbrook is clearly having one of the worst endings to a superstar career ever. John Wall, who was never a superstar, he literally got paid $40 million last year just to stay out the way. And the Russ situation now feels 10 times worse.
Yeah.
Unlike John Wall, we're talking about a player that just a year ago averaged a triple-double for damn near 3 different teams, 4 out of the last 5 years with an MVP.
Oh, my goodness.
And now he's the most unwanted player in the league. The Lakers, as it stands right now, sit extremely uncomfortable with Russell on their roster, and his departure seems imminent.
I'm asking all this too for the Westbrook. I know I'm pausing kind of early, but for you Russell Westbrook fans, the heavy hitters, heavy Russell Westbrook fans, why do you think that is that no one wants him? I want to hear your opinions on that. I would love to hear for the really Russell Westbrook fans, the diehard ones. I want to hear your opinions on that. Let me know in the comments down below.
The Lakers have 3 of the greatest players of our generation on their team right now, and they're the only team with 3 of the top 12 earners next year. Yet their roster still seems pathetic, and unfortunately,
only getting 37?
It's because of one man. Literally, the only way they can send this MVP to his 5th team in 5 years. Mind you, they just traded away 3 starters and a first-round pick for this dude last year.
That's crazy.
The only way they can get rid of him is to send him away with a package of assets. Now, I don't want to give you the full backstory of Russ. If you watch basketball for the last decade, you pretty much got the gist of Russell Westbrook.
I was a big fan.
I'm going to just give you guys a few of my reasons as to why Russell Westbrook has officially hit rock bottom.
Also, let you know, too, for you Russell Westbrook fans, just because you play very hard and you dunk the ball really hard and you play with so much heart doesn't mean you're exempt from criticism, by the way. A lot of pros play with heart. That's why they're pros, because they worked extremely hard to get there. There shouldn't be something I have to say, but I know some ding dong is going to come in here and say something absolutely ridiculous, and I'm just going to ignore him because I don't engage in just foolish behavior. I don't indulge in that. So, but seriously though, man, it's I don't know, man. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, I think y'all misunderstood what I was saying. Y'all don't understand the importance of what I'm saying. I think y'all think it's a joke or some shit. This is a serious thing. This is something that's important. I think y'all think like, oh, you only have one friend. The basketball is only my only friend. Like, all these guys are my brothers. My teammates are my brothers. James is a friend of mine. There's other friends that I have in the league. But at the same time, when I get on the floor, this is the most important thing to for me, and just how, you know, I do what I needed to do. So it's actually not a joke. It's actually real shit. So just to make that known.
But that's cap, though. That's absolute cap. He sat there and capped for about 10 seconds. That was the most important thing. Your game would have elevated by now. That was the most important thing. You would have understood that your shot is getting worse. And you need to work on it by now. But Melvin, how do you know he's not working on it? Because he's shooting one of the worst. He's shooting the worst he has ever shot in his life. What are we talking about? Like, are y'all that green, bro? For those that want to argue with me about that, are you that green? How do I know he's not trying? Because last year. Yeah. That's why. Because his shooting performance is terrible. His IQ is terrible. That's why. Because he's not taking criticism. He doesn't want to come off the bench. He doesn't want to try to do things differently, try to help the team to win, to fight for a championship. That's why I don't believe him. Because if that meant so much to you, if those were your brothers, you would do anything you had to do to make sure you would become an asset, a viable, important asset to the team instead of a liability. I'm telling you right now, if Russell Westbrook does not get his act together this year, he will be coming off the bench and Patrick Beverley will be starting. I have no doubt about that. None. Because Beverley knows his role. It seems Russell Westbrook thinks that it's what I'm getting from him. Again, I could be wrong. I apologize if I am. I'm getting this feeling as if he feels like he's better than LeBron sometimes, or he's better than Anthony Davis sometimes by just doing a lot of silly things. Instead of just letting LeBron run the show, you cutting to the basket, moving without the ball. When you do get the ball, you attack the basket. You attack whoever. You shoot your middies, shoot your post-up shots. Do those things. You don't shoot threes. You rarely shoot threes. That's what the game plan should have been, but it's not. But let's find out why.
Number one, Russ has always had this extreme sense of arrogance, which ultimately turned into delusion as his talent dwindled. Now, this one is a little tricky because I believe to be great in damn near anything, you have to have that sense of arrogance and pride in your work and your talent.
I absolutely agree, yes.
But his was always a little over the top, and I believe it ultimately destroyed his career. Russ came into the league as one of the most athletic guards we had, and you paired that with his relentless
It
motor,
made his career and it's
one of the most
destroying it at the
dominant
same time.
individuals we've ever seen, and you can't deny that. Even to this day, I still believe Russ can generate numbers with ease if the surrounding pieces allows him to. But those numbers blinds him from the reality of what should be the ultimate team goal.
That's beautiful.
I just did a video on Kobe. Highly recommend if you haven't seen it already. Highly recommend. And I found it very interesting how Kobe, post-Shaq, actually had his most team success when he was less involved with direct statistics. In those 3 down years for the Lakers post-Shaq, Kobe was averaging 32 points a night on 23 shots. Look at who was right behind him in that time span. Also,
crazy.
his usage percentage in that span was as well the highest in the NBA. Now, take a close look at the years where Kobe actually made 3 consecutive NBA finals, won his first MVP, and won 2 straight championships. His usage percentage dropped significantly. His points per game dropped significantly. The 2 players that were above him in both of those categories, they teamed up because they knew that style of play doesn't work. Russ's numbers and all those stats and accolades, it made him feel that sense of entitlement with really no real reason to improve or to really adjust that play style.
Exactly. Yo, it's like giving a criminal. It's like the young thug situation. I told my boy about this, right? I said it was like giving Young Thug back in the day, who was gang banging, committing crimes and all that stuff. You allowing him to become a millionaire and commit crimes now. Because now what's happening is he's a millionaire who can commit crimes if he wants to and get away with it because he could just pay people off. He doesn't have to worry about the repercussions of his actions because you gave him a ton of money. So you're kind of basically saying, yo, keep doing what you're doing, bro. We're supporting it. That's basically what you're basically saying. And that's why I'm relating it to Russell Westbrook. I know that's not the best analogy. I apologize. But I'm trying to basically just say it's like you're rewarding bad behavior. That's what you in totality are doing. You are rewarding bad behavior. You're rewarding someone a bunch of money for being Mr. Triple Double, but it's not going anywhere. It's not going anywhere. All that Mr. Triple Double has not gotten him anywhere. And that's the thing that I say before all the time. Like, to me, those are just empty ass stats. Because at the end of the day, when you look at that back in the future, no one's gonna care. No one's going to care. No one's gonna care that Russell Westbrook was Mr. Triple Double because someone else is gonna do it even better, and they're gonna win rings, or they're actually gonna make it past the first round. That's the problem with Russ, bro. And I've been saying that forever. I've been saying I have no problem with being cocky. I have no problem with having this sense of pride and this sense of this confidence. I have no problem with it. But Russell Westbrook gives me this feeling of like he feels like he's above anybody sometimes. He's above criticism. He's above learning anything more, and that people should play around him and not vice versa. That's what I get from Russell Westbrook. And if you feel like that's not what you get from him, you're just as delusional as he is. I'm sorry.
Remember, not too long ago when Russ played for Washington.
And I love Russ. This is not no hate. This is criticism because I'm disappointed.
For Washington, and he broke the triple-double record, and he was putting all these triple-doubles and these crazy numbers up, and they made the playoffs and all that. Y'all remember that run? As I'm sure we all remember, that was absolutely incredible to watch. Russell was putting up those crazy numbers. He actually broke the triple-double record in Atlanta. I went to the game. It was incredible. He had a 36-game stretch where he averaged 24, 13, and 13.
Yep.
Those are my player, my career numbers. Like, that's not normal. But also in that stretch, he averaged 5 turnovers.
Thank you.
Sounds like I'm nitpicking. I get it. You would say Russell averaged 13 assists, so how is the 5 turnovers that big of a deal? But the Wizards were
that's how many
one
points
of the
you're
worst
giving up.
defensive teams in the league.
Think about
they gave
that.
up the 5th most points off.
Thank you. He's about to say it.
Taylor started looking for a new cashback credit card. She's been freezing up.
I got this. Or you can try.
What that basically means is you're basically giving up a lot of points also. Like, just imagine, bro. You average 5 turnovers a game, right? Man, stupid ass Verizon. You average 5 turnovers a game. And let's say those 5 turnovers, Stephen Curry's hitting 5 threes. You gave up 15 points. So no one gives a damn at that point about you having 13 assists. If they put 15 on your head off your 5 freaking turnovers, nobody cares.
Those points came off of the hands of who? Russell Westbrook. They also gave up the most points in the entire league all that season with 108.
And I just want to say this too for y'all that will sit there and say, "Oh, but LeBron's a ball handler too," and all blah blah. LeBron never averaged 5 turnovers. Come on, bro. Jokic has never averaged 5 turnovers. Like, come on. Like, y'all gotta stop doing that, man. Y'all Russell Westbrook, like, riders, bro. Y'all have got to stop. I hope you know the sooner you sit there and hold him accountable, the sooner he will play as the Hall of Fame player that I always thought he could be. Like, seriously.
That didn't help. Like, yes, he's helping his team and most definitely himself and his legacy with those inflated numbers.
Thank you. Inflated.
Crippling his team in the process with those costly erratic mistakes.
Yes.
When Russ joined the Lakers,
like, what? Come
he
on.
really joined LA as the exact same player. Everybody acts like he had this dramatic fall off and everything was so vastly different when
this was always
he was
him.
Always the same player. I told y'all in his last 36 games in Washington, he was averaging 23, 14, and 14 with 5 turnovers. Well, look at his next 36 games with LA.
Oh,
he was
my God. And he's averaging and look at him. He's averaging less assists and less rebounds now. And almost the same turnovers. That is ridiculous. That is absolutely ridiculous. That is freaking ridiculous. And y'all don't see any problem with that. Like, y'all are blaming everyone else except Russ. Like, it's insane to me. Like, I do blame Russ a good amount, but I also blame the Lakers organization for bringing him in the first place. Because that was stupid to bring in someone like him that's not going to help his team win. He's not. I'm sorry. He's not.
19 or damn near 28-8 with damn near 5 turnovers. He just had less opportunities. He was the same guy in those first 36 games for the Lakers when Russ was playing heavy minutes. You know how I said the Wizards were giving up the 4th or 5th most points off of turnovers last year, or when Russ was actually playing for Washington and giving up all those turnovers? The Lakers basically turned into Washington, and they were giving up the 4th most points off of turnovers, damn near with a bye.
Whoa, I did not know that they were 24. Whoa, I did not know they were number 24. That's kind of crazy. They're damn near the
bottom half of the league. Again, the only reason we noticed more is because he was playing for a team that had championship aspirations. But he was always the same guy. He was just doing it in a different jersey now. Also, I believe Russell never having a true coach that he actually trusts handicapped his prime really before it even started. I find it fascinating
no one held him accountable.
that Kobe's 4 highest turnover seasons were all years where he played without Phil Jackson. Kobe only averaged 4 turnovers in a season one time, and that was directly after Shaq left and Phil Jackson followed him. I keep making that comparison because Kobe was also a headstrong individual, but he believed in one coach, and mainly one coach's brilliant philosophy. Russ never had that. Since KD had that Jones fracture in his foot in 2015, Russell Westbrook has led the entire NBA in turnovers. Everybody knows that stat. I'm not trying to beat your head with that. I've said that a billion times. But the reason I know Russ hasn't been coached up to par is with how much that erraticness elevates in the playoffs. He gets even worse in the playoffs. And it's like he never had anybody there to actually control that. In those 3 years in OKC post KD, even with Paul George playing 2 out of those 3 years, Russ was averaging 26 shots a night and 5 turnovers a game in the playoffs until Trae Young just broke that against Miami last year.
Yeah.
Since the merger, he was the only
Yo, Trae Young got his ass busted. I ain't gonna lie. They whipped that boy like a baby. I ain't gonna lie.
player to have a playoff run playing at least 5
like Trae
playoff
Young
games and averaging 6 turnovers in that stretch.
Oh, my
he also
goodness.
took 30 shots a night, the most ever. Even Kobe never took 30 shots a night in a playoff series. The only player to ever do that since the merger was Russell Westbrook, and a player he's always compared to, Allen Iverson. So my point is, Russell never to me had that true coach.
Y'all comparing him to Allen Iverson is so disrespectful, bro. Like, I ain't even gonna lie to you, bro. Like,
And the one time I feel like he actually did to some extent was in Houston with Mike D'Antoni, where they played the most unorthodox style ever, and he did play efficient. He played his most efficient basketball ever, but the ceiling was so damn short, so who really cares? This is why last year, when Frank Vogel rightfully benched him when he was playing terrible, giving him ample chances, Russ took it personal and said stuff like this.
And I'm not sure what his issue was with me, or I'm not sure why, but I can't really give you an answer why we never really connected. Maybe.
Like, can you imagine you being wrong and someone's trying to basically like let you know, like, yo, bro, we're trying to make things work so you can get comfortable, the team can be comfortable, we can win, we can compete, this, that, and the third. And you're so delusional that you're making it seem like he has a problem with you personally. Can you imagine that, bro? Can you imagine how off the rocker you have to be mentally for you to come to that conclusion? You have to be clinically insane. No, Russ. He doesn't have a problem with you personally. He has a problem with you as a basketball player because you're hard-headed and you don't listen. You're not an MVP, bro. You're not. That is done, gone and done. Done. You are playing with one of the greatest players of all time. Top 5, top 10, whatever. You need to get in line, bro. You need to get in line or you go somewhere else. I'm not a Lakers fan, by the way, but it's just common sense. You play your game, you play your role, and you help the team win. This is not an individual achievement or an individual thing for just you to attain. Like, I don't understand. And then you sit here and lie after the game sometimes and say, oh, I tried to help the team out, blah, blah, blah. No, you didn't, bro. No, you didn't. No, you didn't, bro. I blame his friends. I blame the past coaches. I blame the Lakers organization. I blame the fans. I blame myself. Because I'm part of the fans as well, too. That back in the day, I didn't hold him accountable. I do. Because it was so fun seeing him dunk all hard and playing all competitive and not really looking deep into the details of this of the stat sheets and understanding how less of an impact he is giving his team. Look at Russell's plus and minuses. It's not good. It's not good.
That's something that he has to answer, but I never, from the get-go was feeling like I was having to try to prove myself to him and my capabilities and what I've been able to do for this game.
Proving to yourself.
It's unfortunate, but it's really not kind of out of my hands.
And lastly, I don't think Russ was built to have a 15, 20-year long run. Like, he's actually maximized and to me surprised me with how long he's lasted being as dominant as he was. Even at his peak, Russ was always a hyper-athletic, low IQ, subpar jump shot, great free throw shooting guard. Like, that wasn't even meant to last in year 15. I don't even know if some people know this or recognize this, but Russ has had 4 surgeries on one knee since that Patrick Beverley incident damn near a decade ago.
Yeah, that injury upset
the quad
me.
injury he had a few years ago that bothered him for a little while, plus the natural wear and tear that comes along with the play style he plays with, and the fact that he's almost 34, and you can understand why he's breaking down. In his prime, specifically in that MVP year, Russ banked off his athletic ability to get him to the free throw line and actually execute. During that MVP year, he averaged 31, 32 points, but 9 of those came from the free throw line. Now he's not even a good free throw shooter. Since that MVP year in 2017, where Russ was like
He's not- he's
amazing,
not- he's not adapting.
free throw percentage and
That's
all
his
that.
main- he's not adapting,
He's become
bro.
like the worst free throw shooter in the league, especially amongst those.
Zion is 68.3. Zion played like
Nature
one or
made for seeing that life is
Zion
more
played
chaotic
2 years,
and
and he's
creating a
averaging
targeted blend
better
can help.
than Russell
So when
Westbrook.
our
My
sleep,
God.
stress, and immune health are thrown
My
off,
God.
new nature-made well blends can help us find balance.
Yo, we don't care, bro.
Wow, we're on Verizon now.
Alrighty, shut the hell up. Listen, Zion's coming back this year. I think he averaged, what, 25, 27 a game last time he played? And he did his thing, bro. So the fact that he could, oh, man, I don't know, dude. I don't know.
Now with the free throws, and this definitely has some validity to it, they did make that rule change where he can't walk to the half court line in between free throws. That burns endless time. He can't do that anymore. And ever since they made that rule change,
Like, bro, I said this in the last video. Look how he shoots.
Endless
Look.
time.
Look at his index finger. He's throwing up gang signs. He's shooting like this and going like he's busting a Spider-Man on me, bro. Why is no one helping him with his jump shot? Please, I need to understand why Lethal Shooter is not helping Russell Westbrook.
He can't do that anymore. And ever since they made that rule change,
This is
his free throw
ridiculous.
percentage
This is
went
ridiculous.
downhill, so I understand that. But damn, bro, that was like 4 years ago. At some point, you have to adjust, and I guess he never did. And he's one of the worst free throw shooters in the league as a point. Now we have Russ in 2022, where I don't even think he's as bad of a player as the internet and the situation is making him out to be. I think he's just in the worst situation ever from any basketball player.
That look
I
good.
see some people on Twitter scoff at the reality of Russ possibly being out this league in about a year or two. I believe Bill Simmons said something about that, and Twitter, everybody said that's way too far. I don't believe that to be the case at all. Like, that's a real reality. You can bounce your ass out this league fast, especially if you prove you can't fit anywhere.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying too in the last video too. I was like, because I remember telling my cousin about this, and I said, "Yo, bro, if Russ keeps playing the way he's playing, no one's gonna want him, bro. He's gonna be out the league pretty soon." He's like, "Bro, you're crazy. He's a former All-Star," and that made me really think, bro. We are so in love with the players that we formerly knew them as at their best that we're so blinded about what they are at this moment. And it doesn't matter what team Russ goes to, if he doesn't change his mentality, if he doesn't change his understanding for my athleticism is clearly going down, my shot is looking terrible, I need to adapt. If he understands that, he will be in this league for a while. But the thing is, he's just not doing it, bro. And it doesn't help when you look on social media and everybody's defending him. You know, it's like, it's getting to the point now, and I am seeing it. It's starting to slowly shift, but even Laker Nation is starting to go at him a lot. Like, I remember watching the games, bro, and they were like, damn, they're telling him not to shoot it. Like, or they were gasping or just like didn't want him to have the ball at the 3-point line. You know what I'm saying? And I'm looking like, yo, that's insane, bro. Like, how does that not tell you something? Like, as a player, that I should work on things in my game. That's why when people like him say things like, those are my brothers, I'll do anything for them, blah, 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 blah. While you're averaging terrible numbers, it looks good looking from face value. When you look at the plus and minuses, you look at the usage rates, you look at all those things, bro, his impact is horrendous. It is horrendous. We got to do better. He has to do better.
In 5 years, that definitely proves that. I know some people will say it's his contract, and once he gets off this contract, things will be better. But bro, what's the point of bringing Russ on your team as a role player or a bench player or something of that nature? Russ is meant to be Russ, and if you're not allowing Russ to be Russ, what was the point of ever getting Russ? That's who he is. If you guys like this video, The Lakers' entire fate, at least for next year, it all weighs on when and if they can move Russ. And unfortunately, in order to even move this former MVP, this player you just traded 3 championship pieces and a first-round pick for just a year ago, In order to move this MVP, you have to give up assets, meaning your first round pick in 2027 and 2029, damn near taking your future to get rid of a former MVP. Never heard that before. Like I said, if you like this video, like this video, follow my social media sites.
Show love to Switch Out, man. Brother always does phenomenal work as well too. He's to me, he's a legend. I watched him since he first started on his YouTube channel, man. I love everything about him. Let's read some of the comment section though. He's having the same ending as AI. He has to accept to play a different role if he wants to play longer in the league. I absolutely agree. Let's see what the comments say. Don't compare him to Iverson. Ivo actually led a trash team. Oh my gosh, shut the hell up, bro. That's not the point, bro. Sure, but the ego is still the same. Yes, like thank you. Like y'all always like putting this little shit. Like, bro, you know he's right. Like stop. Denver was pretty good. They were pretty good. Iverson and Melo in at any time of their career wouldn't fit besides current Melo. Yeah, it's true. 76ers has 6 and yeah, went to the finals. That is true. He did go to the finals, but again, he had a really good team. He had a pretty good team on that Nuggets team, and he did to some degree understand his role. So I gotta agree slightly on Andre here, but at the same time, the ego mentality thing is still kind of similar. I think Westbrook is way worse, but I do understand where the gentleman's coming from. And yet it still looked no one's denying how insane. See, it's the thing right here. I'm turning music down real quickly, bro, so I can read this to y'all. He's lasted 15 years in a league where the average lifespan is like 5 to 6 years. He won MVP 9 years in and averaged a TD 4 of the last six seasons, and yet he still is looked down upon for very obvious reasons. No one is denying how insane his numbers were, but it's hard to justify rooting for Russ when he clearly doesn't want to change for the. Thank you. Someone down here says, so what? You act like you a fan of his or the coach or some. Just sit back and watch basketball. You see these jackasses that I'm talking about, bro? You can't not want to see somebody want to do better. What the hell? People are weird, bro. And then he responded saying, I want to see him make an impact and play well, bro. That's all. But he isn't going to do that if he doesn't figure his issues out. Because, people can, root for you. I understand. What's your name? So y'all can see too. Mr. Eric Wilson. Okay, I understand, Mr. Wilson, you don't have a lot of friends that root for you or whatnot, or people that might not know you and rooting for your success. But, people are rooting for Russ's success. It doesn't matter that he's just a millionaire. People want to see him succeed and do good in basketball, but they're gonna relate to money. That's the kind of people they are. But read one more comment. Find a good one. There it is. I love Russ as a player, but he is the definition of hard-headed. If he had the mindset of an Al Horford, very good example, or Ray Allen, another very good example, where they sacrifice ball time and adjust their game to win, he would be wanted more and probably could have a longer career. Well, he doesn't want to change, so it's going down the ending path. Let's read the comments. No, nobody asked. Oh my God, asked him to be an Al Horford, but he definitely can't be Russ anymore. Then what is he going to be? Pumbama? What are you talking about? Give me one off-ball skill that Russ is great at, and please don't say defense because he is trash at defense. I mean, there is no physical capability Marcus Smart has that Russ doesn't. So theoretically, he should be able. That is true. He should be. But he just doesn't. I don't know what it is, bro. Well, he has no real disadvantages over Curry either. So he might as well become the best shooter on the planet. That's a stupid take. I mean, no coordination is a physical element, and giving his finishing, that might be an issue. He used to be really good at finishing. I don't know what happened, but meanwhile, people can go from being a cone to being vaguely acceptable on defense in an offseason. Stephen Curry. At least provide good cuts to the basket, improve on assists to turnover ratio. I agree with that wholeheartedly. And to the person sitting here saying that Lubo isn't, no, I'm sorry, bro. That was kind of stupid to say, but that's the problem with Russ, bro. He just doesn't want. He wants to stay the same. He wants people to say. It reminds me of that girl or that dude that expects everyone to like them for who they are and then wonders why no one's dating them. That's what I get from Russell Westbrook. I get that. He's so oblivious to the fact that he's the issue. like how you not understand that, bro? Like, He's the main issue. I apologize, because the issue also too is, you know, LeBron being hurt, AD being hurt, Lakers picking up Westbrook in the first place. Those are also problems too. But come on now, let's be serious now. But hey, Swish, great video per usual, my brother. Very happy and proud of you and all of your success, man. It's your boy Melly, man. I'm signing out. Gotta go eat dinner with my woman, and our dog. He's getting nothing, so I'm out of here. And per usual, peace, love, and keep that drip immaculate at all times, baby. Stay easy, breezy, beautiful. Stay sexy, amazing, awesome, elegant, immaculate, healthy, but most importantly, drink water, my friends. I love y'all, man. Road to 1,000 subs. Let's get to it. Peace and love forever, baby. Bow. Stay easy. Peace.